Blog Talk Radio.
The truth is out there. Knowledge is power. This is the Prepper Podcast Radio Network. Are you storing food? Many preppers are storing food for months and years, but only have enough fuel stored for days or weeks. Stretch your fuel storage by harnessing the power of the sun with a sun oven. Food can be baked, boiled, or steamed at temperatures of 360 to 400 degrees Fahrenheit with the power of the sun. Depending on where you are located, you can use the sun for 50 to 80% of your cooking, allowing you to preserve your fuel storage for rainy days. Sun-baked foods stay moister and have less shrinkage and don't burn. Sun-baked roasts are tastier and more succulent, and sun-baked bread has unparalleled taste and texture. Water can be heated in a sun oven for purification or personal hygiene. For the past 25 years, sun ovens have been proudly made in the U.S. They are durable, have a long life, and come with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. For a discount coupon, email podcast@sunoven.com. That's podcast@sunoven.com. This is KPRN-DB, broadcasting worldwide from Southeast Oklahoma, USA, to parts unknown.
This is where Sun Tzu and MacGyver meet the Waltons. I know you can do it. I know you can prep for yourself and for your family. I believe in you. Crisis strikes, you need to reach down and check to see if you got the big boy or big girl underwear on, because you know what, you're going to have to be an adult and you're going to have to step at the plate because you've got people depending on you.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. James Smith, the Covert Prepper with the Covert Prepper Show. Hey, it's going to be, unfortunately, another short night, but this is more or less a housekeeping kind of episode. As many of you know, well, let's get to the intro. All information provided is for entertainment purposes or for post-apocalyptic uses, and this is for informational purposes, more or less, tonight. I'm a former U.S. Navy enlisted sailor and prison corrections officer for medium and minimum security inmates. I was a covert disability insurance and fraud investigator for several years, and I currently work for a company that provides support for the disabled. Our call-in line is area code 917-889-7908, and I see somebody is actually waiting right now, or listening right now, I should say. Our Twitter name is my Twitter name is @CovertPrepper. The blog is thecovertprepper.com, and you can reach me at james@thecovertprepper.com, and my YouTube channel is The Covert Prepper. Now, you can listen to our live feed, which runs 24/7, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. You can call it by calling area code 786-837-2278. Now, funny thing about this live feed, if you want to hear Ed Cochran's, he did Survival and Beyond. He still does Survival and Beyond, but a different network. But we play his shows on the live feed. His shows are from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time, thereabouts. If you catch around 7:30, you might pop on, but that's about it. Maybe as late as 8 o'clock, but it'll be 2 hours. All right. And now if you want to listen to the Soul Survivor show, that's from 6 a.m. until 12 p.m. Eastern, every Sunday. Now, the Covert Prepper Show, and I was looking at the live feed, and it was a lot of people were listening. Noon to 3 on Saturdays. You can listen to some old shows, and as new shows come along, they get posted. let's see. So that's at 786-837-2278, and you can listen to the live feed then and there. Now, as I had said before, it's going to be abbreviated, unfortunately, but it's the way it is. Now, I want to let everybody know, and you are the first ones. Point out yourself. You are the first one. Point. Come on. You are the first ones to know about this. The Prepper Podcast Radio Network is giving away a free tablet computer as a drawing for Christmas. Not just any old tablet. No. This is prepped out. This, prep my computer type thing. It will have, it's on its way over here. It will have plans and diagrams for how to build like a chicken coop. It will have old cookbooks. It will have old books from the 1800s on how they survived and how they made things last and how they did things, how they make soap. You'll find it in this tablet computer. Plus, it'll also have our mobile app that you can download. If you go to prepperpodcast.com, there's a little funny-looking barcode. You just put your phone in front of it, and it'll download this mobile app for your iPhone or for your Android-enabled phones, and you can get our live feed. You can get our downloads. You can get our latest Twitter. You can get our latest Facebook. You can get the latest everything about PPRN. Pretty cool, huh? Well, not only will this tablet have that, but this tablet is Wi-Fi enabled, so you can visit your favorite websites. You can visit, I want to say it's Skype enabled, but I can't be certain on that. It's Wi-Fi. You can put your movies on there. You can put your favorite books on there. And, yes, the Covert Preppers 2 books, Impossible is Nothing and the Covert Preppers Guide to Surviving the Apocalypse, will be added in this. What do I have to do, James? What do you have to do? Well, actually, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3, and I think 4. There it is. Had to find the email. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. First, you have to figure out who's going to get this tablet. It's going to be yourself, because you can be your own favorite prepper. I'm my own favorite prepper. Well, me and BG. The second step to do, there's 3 ways to do this step. You can fill out a review of our website for the Alexa rating system. Be honest. And it's just the prepperpodcast.com website. Don't worry about the Covert Prepper. I like being in the background. You have to be looking for me in order to find me. When the contest begins, which is the contest begins it'll be November 1st and goes until December 10th. So you'll see a little banner on the prepperpodcast.com. You click on that banner. Give us an honest and kind review, please. Now, email us so we know your username so we can put your name in the hat. If we don't know who filled out the review, we can't award you. The second one is to take one of the PPRN news article links and choose an article and submit it to Reddit or StumbleUpon or Newsline or any other discovery engine. All right? Then email us back the link that you used and where we can find your submission so we know who provided the link. And the third way, it's a little trickier, it'll be a snippet of HTML code that will place the PPRN logo on your web page. Let us know your website so we can add your name to the list of the potential winners. Now, the very hardest one, and I am so terribly sorry, but it has to happen, you're going to have to wait until December 10th. That's when we will announce the winner. Now, only the first part of the name or the email will be given, unless you provide some other name. So if you're Pioneer Joe at somewhere.com, we're just going to announce that Pioneer Joe was the winner. So if there's more than 2 Pioneer Joes, then poor Pioneer Joe is going to be kind of confused. Did I win it or not? That's all it takes. 1, 2, 3, and you have yourself a brand new tablet. It's Android 4 compatible, Wi-Fi, HD, YouTube, there's the Wi-Fi and the YouTubes, and it is ready. It'll be packed, crammed full of stuff. So wait until November 1st. I know you have to wait 2 weeks, or about 2.5 weeks, and then you can put in, and then you have to wait, 40 days, and then will be announcing the winner. I only have one of these, so only one winner. But do not fear. I'm going to be trying to get some other prizes in the future. A little birdie told me a 12-gauge shotgun. Ooh, who couldn't use a 12-gauge shotgun? And there was another thing. What was that other thing? Oh, yes. A food bucket. Yes, a bucket of food to feed 4 people for 3 days. Free. Free, mind you. So, and it'll be the same idea. You just have to do the exact same things. Let us know where if you've got a new website that you do the blog thing. We'll come up with different ways, but you do this and you're in the list. So tell your friends, tell your prepper friends, let them know there's a new drawing coming out for a tablet made just for preppers. Okay. And I'm just looking at the time. I've got 18 minutes left. This is only set for a half-hour show. Now, I need to tell you about what happened in Frostbite Falls this morning. It happens frequently. Sadly, it's really frequently, but it gets cold here. We're talking frost on the pumpkin kind of cold. Now, I don't know where you live. Maybe you live somewhere warm, Atlanta, Georgia, Miami, Florida. But at this time of year, will you please think of the homeless and donate some used clothing, blankets, spare change at the kettle when you hear it ringing? Because we're all in this world together. We're stuck together. So why don't you do, I won't say the Christian thing, but even atheists will do the same thing, and give to the needy. You may be the needy. Entirely possible. If you would put as much effort into as prepping as you can, and teach others how to prep. When you're down and out and when you're feeling hopeless, the best way to feel better about your current situation is to help others. So spare some blankets, some change, some time, and let's make this world just a little bit better, one person at a time. And you feel better about yourself. Not proud of yourself, I'm sure, but you'll feel better about yourself. And seriously, and isn't that what we all need once in a while, just to feel better? Okay, now I'm going to talk about this little thing I like to call the news. As I said, this is also a bit of a housekeeping thing, administrative housekeeping, but we need the news. Now, if you go to prepperpodcast.com or ppranews.com, which will take you to prepperpodcast.com, I'm just going to go there real quick as I'm talking. You're going to see news. Now, think of your life as your 5 senses. You have the ability to take in food. You have the ability to take in water. You have the ability to take in friendship. And you have the ability to do this and that and this and that. What happens if you lost one of your senses? It's entirely possible. You know that, right? It is entirely possible for you to lose one of your senses. The sense of smell, more than likely. So you need to look at prepping as a body, your body in particular, because you're trying to keep yourself alive. So if you do not have good information, good intelligence, good data, then you are at a disadvantage. So the best thing you can do is stay up to date on the news. You don't have to always use ppranews.com. I would feel greatly honored if you did, but I understand that you may not. Now, when it comes to news, understand that not everybody views the different topics as equal as you. Some are health-oriented. You could say, I'm in poor health, so I want to know what I can do to maximize my health and prevent further damage to my body. So let's say, for example, this latest article, over-the-counter painkillers can increase risk of death and second heart attack. Let me go over it real quick. Increased risk of second heart attack and death. Okay, so you might be interested in that story. You might be interested in the possible Iranian cyber attacks on the oil refineries. You're more of a technical person, so this is more interest to you, but not the health things. That's the nice thing about the news and the ppranews.com website. You don't have to click on the story if it doesn't interest you. Some of the things about the news is that we need to learn different viewpoints. We don't have to agree with them. We just have to know the different viewpoints. So when you see a news article, let's talk about the New World Order, and there's one right up there right now, then you, on the pprnews.com, you can take a look at it and you can see what exactly is about the New World Order. I'm not a real New World Order kind of guy. I'm more worried about keeping me and my family safe. But it's good to know what's out there and what's the possibility. And so that's why, in part, I do the news. So that I myself know, and there's a lot of news that does not get covered. For example, Joe Biden smiling and laughing and carrying on during the debate. Absolutely worthless information to a prepper. Now, there was an article. It was like, as he was laughing and smiling, yes, at $6 a gallon in Florida. That is prepper-oriented. That we need to be aware of. So when you see the news, always carry in the back of your head, why does this matter to me? One of the most important things that we can do for news is keep up to date with bad weather. Bad weather will do us in. Some people say, well, the weather doesn't interest me, or that the news doesn't interest me. I just care about how to make knives, or what's the best knife to carry, or things of this nature. Okay, let's take out the news. Let's not tell you about the upcoming hurricane. Let's not tell you about the upcoming blizzard. Let's not tell you about the upcoming legislation that will take away your ability to carry a knife. See how this works? It's an all-encompassing thing. We need the news. That being said, one of the things that I'm trying to do is to provide you more information. Information is power. Knowledge is power. So what I've picked up are 2 new hosts starting November 5th and November 6th. They'll be for the 5th, I believe, will be 2 hours a day, and the 5th will be, or the 6th will be 1 hour a day. Now, November 5th will herald the beginning of Peter Santilli, that's his name, his show, which he left Genesis Communications Network, and he's got going on his own, but we're also covering him. That being said, you can also listen to some old shows. He's got a big YouTube following, so you can find his shows on YouTube. But you can also, soon, we'll be able to find them on the prepperpodcast.com. It'll be on Blog Talk Radio, and soon we're going to be branching out to yet another radio system, but you can find these all on iTunes. Now, the second one is a young lady by the name of Suzanne Pozell. She does alternative news, as does Peter Santilli. Why is alternative news important? For 2 reasons. One, mainstream media is not reporting the important things. There are 28 things that they're not reporting, and the sheeple are happy with that. Preppers are not. So while Suzanne is telling you about the potential problems in Benghazi and how they actually kind of come over here, because those problems that go on in Benghazi is indicative of a bad administration, and they're letting bad things happen here in the United States. She brings with her, and as well as Peter brings with him, potential preppers. So I told them 2 things that they have to do. One, if you have a suggestion, I'm going to take one, and that I've said in the past, leave the banking system. Then you need to come up with solutions on how you are supposed to leave the banking system. How do I do that, Peter? How do I do that, Suzanne? And they are to give you step-by-step ways of leaving the banking system. Well, how do I pay my bills? How do I get gas when I'm 100 miles away from home if I don't have a bank card? So this is what they were charged with. Now, the second thing is kind of a religious, political type thing. I'm not Jewish, but I support the nation of Israel. I support the single Israeli mother who is trying to make ends meet in Tel Aviv or in Jerusalem or wherever, or the single dad in Nazareth or Bethlehem. Okay, I support these people. I support the Jewish people. It's part of the charge from the Bible. bless those that bless you and curse those that curse you, and support Israel. And I do. You can hate me for it. I don't care. You can support them as same I do. Now, one thing that you'll see a lot in alternative news is the Zionists. And I ask them, what exactly is the Zionist? Because I have a definition, and other people have different definitions. It's sort of like politician. Some think it's an important person. Other people, like me, think they're scum-sucking individuals. So what exactly is your definition of politician, or in this case, Zionist? Now, Suzanne's, I'm going to give a rough definition from her, is basically a political action that co-opted the Jewish nation to support a super Jewish nation, one where Israel rules the world. Now, that is very similar to a lot of other international countries think that they rule the world. Russia wants to rule the world, China wants to rule the world, and little Israel wants to rule the world. Okay, so for her, basically, this is Zionism. Peter is actually trying to get away from the word Zionist because basically it has nothing to do with religion and more of a power type thing. And, you can almost call Mr. Obama a Zionist in his definition. So my definition of a Zionist is I have no clue. Somebody who wants to see Israel prosper, maybe that's a Zionist, I don't know. But I just want to see the little country of Israel, a little country that could, succeed. I want them to be safe. Hate me if you want, I don't care. I am all for freedom and liberty, regardless of any kind of other ideology. I want to see Easter Island being a sovereign nation. I want to see Scotland become a sovereign nation. I want to get away from colonialism. And to be quite honest with you, Hawaii should become a sovereign nation because they were taken by force. And it's just me. And to be really honest with you, they'd probably stay with the United States. Anyways, that's them. So these two people are going to be coming on in a few weeks. So November is going to be a month of change. Now, I am in the middle of talks with two former hosts, who shall remain nameless, of coming back to the Prepper Podcast Radio Network. Now, these hosts are always welcome. Former hosts are always welcome, to some degree. There's one I kind of worry about. I don't think they'll be coming back. But anyways, because they have people that listen to them, and I want them to be able to meet their needs. So as soon as I find out more about them, if they're going to be coming back, we're going to be undergoing some more changes. Now, one of the things that we can do, I don't know how you download this show. Do you download it from iTunes? Do you download it from Blog Talk Radio or wherever? What we're going to be doing is using another radio service besides Blog Talk Radio. I know Blog Talk Radio probably is just about how to have a cow here, but that's just the way it is. Not just because it's cheaper, but because of the ability to expand at a less cost. And so if you currently are downloading shows from Blog Talk Radio, I suggest that you consider getting from iTunes as an example. Or if you win that tablet, then you can just have access to it immediately. No big deal. Or you can always go to the podcast page at prepperpodcast.com, and you can get the latest shows there. So whatever we're going to be doing, and I'm thinking in November the news is coming back. The Prepper Podcast Radio Network news show will be coming back starting in November. So look on the bright side, folks. Look on the bright side. And I do want to tell you about a couple new advertisers. Let me go there real quick. One is a water purification company, and they've got a real big banner. You can take a look at the very top of the page. Now, the big banner has got where it's radiation-proof water, as well as fluoride, gets rid of fluoride out. So take a look at that. If you need help finding the link, just keep refreshing the page. And the second one is a company that has alternative energies, free energy, the unique device. Take a look at it. Click on it. Find out more. Tell me what you think. That's the important thing. And, of course, if you live in the New York City area, there is prepareandprotectnyc.com, the Great Escape. Click on there, and you will be able to learn more. I'm just double-checking all my stuff here. Oh, if you're in Portugal, stay out or look out for dengue fever. Also in Puerto Rico. See, I love the news. This is great. I've been busting my hump in the last 3 months, getting everything building up here, and I appreciate everybody's efforts. Just downloading. Just one single download actually helps everything. Now, I've got 4 minutes left. Let's see, my outro is a minute and a half, so I've got just a couple minutes left, so I'll just want to keep going here. I had actually thought about ending the Covert Prepper show for a while. It's just, if I'd gotten those 2 extra hosts, maybe I thought about giving up my time for them, but found a way to help keep the Covert Prepper going. And so what I'd really like you to do is send us an email. Send me an email, james@thecovertprepper.com. This way, believe it or not, I can actually do something for you. And when I get the emails, I'll definitely put them on the air. It's the important thing to do. Let people know how they can prep. And BG, beautiful, gorgeous, my wife asked me, okay, Smarty Pants, if it's summertime and I've got a rabbit, how am I supposed to preserve it? Well, I looked at her and said, you eat it for dinner that night. And then she said, well, if I've got 2 rabbits. I suggested that you smoke the rabbit. Oh, you can do that? Yes, you can do that, dear. So somebody who's been prepping just as long as I have, forgot about smoking meat, it's always an option. So send me your questions. I want to answer them. All right, that's it for tonight. I will talk to you guys later. Let's see, next week. Next week is, yes, more likely next week. So take care, and I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend or what's left of it. Bye-bye.
Warning, the unprepared may not survive the next natural disaster, terrorist attack, or economic collapse. In light of recent global unrest and natural disasters, we bring you this urgent message from David Morris, author of the acclaimed Urban Survival Course. Because this message is urgent, we won't waste time on the why you should act now. You already know why. It's the very real and growing dangers reported in the media every day. Now it's the what you must do. Go to myminisurvivalcourse.com and claim your free Urban Survival mini course that will prepare you for breakdowns in civil order. Today, David Morris is offering you instant access to his 7-part Urban Survival mini course at myminisurvivalcourse.com. You should already be at your keyboard. Enough talk. Act now while you still have time and while it's still free. myminisurvivalcourse.com. myminisurvivalcourse.com. Or call 1-866-558-1040. 1-866-558-1040. You'll be glad you did.
You're listening to KPRN-DB in Southeast Oklahoma.